So I went from 500 subscribers to 600 subscribers to 700 subscribers, and then this shit happened. Hey, it's Bree, and I have a story for you. If you've been here before, thanks for stopping by. And if you're new here, you might want to go ahead and click that red button and subscribe, because this is just going to be a sweet little intro into the crazy bullshit that is my life. So I know some of you guys are probably like, bitch, what the fuck? You do reactions. And believe me, I'm 100% here for you with that. But I just feel like this video is going to be kind of therapeutic for me in a way, because I feel like if I didn't talk about it with you guys, then I wouldn't be able to move forward in the way that I really want to. Like, I feel like, as you can tell by the title, someone came in my house while I was asleep, and when it happened, I really didn't process it, because I mean, obviously I'm gonna get into the whole story, but I really didn't process it because my main focus was this channel. So I feel like if my goal as a small YouTuber right now, especially because I'm growing so quickly, if my goal is to be honest with you guys and for you guys to like me for me, not because of this YouTube personality, like I want y'all to fuck with me for me, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm going ahead and making this video, because in a way, you guys can't tell, because when you look at my uploads, it's like, oh, okay, well, she only uploaded 3 days ago. But within the span of 3 days, I have gone through so much mentally. And it's just like, I don't know. I feel like it's important to me to let you guys know what's going on, so then you're not like, oh, another bitch who had potential and now she quit YouTube. Like, that's what's not going to happen. So with that being said, let me tell you what happened. So pretty much on Sunday, I was being overly ambitious. I don't even know if I was being, I was being overly ambitious, and I was trying to film 4 videos in one day. 2 of the videos you guys actually requested, like people were like, do Little Mix, do BB Rexa, and then I wanted to react to the BET Awards, and then I wanted to do Tiana Taylor's album. So I had 4 videos that I wanted to film in one day. And mind you, the work week was going to start the next day. You know what I'm saying? So I was really trying to like put the work in. But I wasn't thinking about like the schedule and how like when you do reactions, like obviously you need to do it when it drops. And I was already a day late, and there was just like so much stuff already going through my mind. So I had filmed 2 videos. I filmed the videos that people actually left comments and told me to react to. Because like I said, like, it's important to me to give you guys what you want. You know, it's important to me to entertain. That's why I turn this ring light on and do this shit, because I love it. I filmed 2 videos, and it's exhausting sitting through an entire album and reacting to it. That shit is kind of exhausting. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna eat. And so I eat, and then I come back upstairs, and I'm kind of like laying. Now, mind you, I was like completely sober. So it wasn't like I had been drinking and I was tired or something like that. I was completely sober. I was just like overworking my mind. Like I was just like, I was really in grind mode. You know what I'm saying? And me laying down after eating was like, okay, you're human. You're human. Like reminding myself, like, I don't have to go as hard, or sometimes it's not necessary to go as hard as I would like to. So yeah, I'm laying in my bed. I'm comfortable. After I eat, I kind of get bloated a little bit. So I didn't have no pants on. Okay? And I'm laying in my bed. And I'm like, okay, what are you gonna film next? Are you gonna do Tiana Taylor? Are you gonna do the BET Awards? Like, my mind is like, fuck, okay, like, what are we gonna film next? We need to edit the BB Rexa. BB Rexa needs to go up because they requested it. And I'm just like, you know? And in the middle of that thought process, I ended up passing out. Like, I ended up dozing off. But it was like one of those things where, like, as soon as you hit the pillow and then you wake up and it doesn't even feel like you went to bed, like it just feels like you just laid down. That's kind of like what happened. I doze off, and then all I remember is hearing my balcony door slide open and someone who is not anyone that I was expecting walking into my shit, like coming in to my bedroom. So I grabbed my tripod and I began to swing, right? But the person is like, oh no. And then it dawns on me like, this is my fucking neighbor. Okay, how can I say this? Okay, so now that you guys know that, this is what was going on in my mind. So I'm like, this is my fucking neighbor. This is that dude that I've been seeing stalking me. Like, I've been seeing, like, we already know that he's a creep. Like, he's a peeping Tom, literally. He was looking through my window so much, it was to the point I had to makeshift, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I had to, like, put shit up to make sure that he wasn't looking in my room. He was looking in my room that much. And, I mean, so my first reaction when I realized who it is like, okay, what the fuck? Like, he literally walked in my room on some drunk shit, like as if he was my friend. Like, as he literally walked in my shit like I was expecting him. And that's what really pissed me off. But something really told me not to hit him. Something told me not to hit him, because as the days go by and I'm thinking about it, I'm like, that shit could have went so far left. I mean, as you can imagine, I was like, what the fuck are you doing in here? Like, I wasn't like, ah, but I was like aggressive. Like, what the fuck are you doing in here? Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I was aggressive. And to be honest, as I tell this story, I kind of get annoyed because, and I'm gonna tell you why I get annoyed. I get annoyed because it wasn't like, I didn't feel like he was gonna hurt me. But I feel like I should have did more to where he could have got out of my room faster. Because he's just like, he comes in my shit. He's like, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. I need to stay here. I need to stay here. I'm sorry. I just need to stay here. I just need to stay here. And I'm looking at this nigga like, I was so like, because the only thing that's going in my mind is like, he's stopping me from doing my YouTube. So yeah, he comes in here and he's like, oh, I need to stay here. I need to stay here. I'm like, for how long? Because the thing about me is that, like, I'm not a fucked up person. But then that's the part that's crazy about the story. Because, like, I don't know this nigga. It doesn't matter if I'm a good person or a bad person. I don't know this nigga and he walked in my shit. Whatever. Anyways, okay, so he's talking gibberish. He's honestly just repeating himself over and over. I need to stay here. I need to stay here. You don't even understand. I'm about to do 30 years. I'm about to do 30 years. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, oh, my girl ratted me out. My girl ratted me out. I was like, go to somebody else's apartment with that shit. Go to somebody, like, I was really trying to get him out of my room, but that just wasn't gonna happen. And I'll tell you why it wasn't gonna happen. Because he decides that he's gonna fall on his face. Like, he literally fell over onto his face, and then he saw that as an opportunity to take his shoes off. Like, bro started getting comfortable. He took his shoes off as soon as he hit the floor, and I'm just standing here like, I guess it's either two things. It's either I was really shook or I really just don't have no feelings. It was like one of those. Because when he fell on his face and took his shoes off, I was just like I couldn't believe that it was happening. And I didn't know how to react to it happening, because it's either two ways you could react. You could turn up and then he could overpower you and attack you, or you could just play that little friendly role and figure out how you gonna end up beating this nigga ass, or what you gonna hit him with, type shit. So yeah, I'm pretty much like, how long do you need to stay here? And he's like, because he was way too big to be trying to pick up, by the way. And he was like, oh, I need to stay here for like a week. I need to stay here for 3 days. I need to stay here for a week. I'm like, I don't even want you in here right now. I mean, I wasn't saying this to him, but I'm like, I don't even want you in here right now. And you have the audacity to say a week? 3 days? Bitch, you ain't even got 3 hours. You don't even have, like, what do you mean 3 days to a week? And let me tell you something. Before this shit happened, I'm coming in my building. I took my trash out. I'm coming in my building and he's going up the stairs. So there's like 3 levels of stairs to get to my balcony. And this is where the story starts to go from, like, this is why I had to make the video, because as I get into the story and you see the, like, little mini interactions that lead up to the situation really could have gone super far left. Like super far. Like it really could have been like a bad situation for me. And it's like I'm kind of dwelling on that. I'm kind of dwelling on the fact that something fucked up could have happened, but it didn't happen. And it's stopping me from producing the content that I want to create. So that's why I'm just like, let me be honest. But anyway, back to the story. To be honest, like what we were saying back and forth to each other was really just repetitive. It was just like, you can't stay here a week. I need to stay here a couple of days. My girl ratted me out. I'm going to do 30 years. I'm in trouble deep. You don't understand. I'll give you whatever you want. I'll give you whatever you want. I'll give you $250,000. I'll give you a quarter. I'll do this. I'll do that. Like he started talking to me like he was like moving drugs. He started talking to me like that's what he does. Like he pushed bricks. And I'm kind of like, okay, I know he's fucked up, but like, how do I know he's not lying? Like, I don't know anything about him except for he's a weirdo and a stalker. Like I was saying about 3 weeks ago. No, bitch, it wasn't even 3 weeks ago. It was literally like last weekend. Okay? Last weekend, I take my trash out. And like I said, the stairs to my apartment are like 3 levels. And so it's the 2nd level where the entrance to my actual apartment is, and it's the 3rd level which is like all balconies. Everybody who has like a balcony is up on that level. And so I automatically knew when I saw him, I'm like, damn, like I really gotta go behind him up these stairs right now, because the other side of the building doesn't have the stairs that go all the way up to the balcony. And I'm like, so I really gotta like walk behind him right now. So I'm walking behind him, and he waits until we get to literally the last step on the 3rd floor so I could just go in my shit. And he turns around and he asks me if I would be interested in buying cocaine from him. And I'm like, it was so weird. I told my dad about it. It was that weird. It was that weird. But that's what I'm trying to say to you girls out there. Our intuition is never wrong. Isn't that crazy? Like, this is why I was kind of going crazy, because I'm like, so many ways the situation could have went left. One night, last week as well. I'm in here, I'm editing. I was up late. I already knew I was going to be late to work the next day because YouTube is life. So I'm up late, I'm editing. Once again, I'm in my like lounge wear. Like, I'm not wearing clothes because it's just me. Like, I don't need to wear clothes if it's just me. And so I'm in here like on my shit editing, and I see him like walking from his door, his balcony, all the way over to my side, damn near. Like, he literally walked from his window directly in front of mine. He wasn't even trying to be low key. He literally like walked and was like standing in front of my window, to the point I'm like, is he looking in my... And of course I had my ring light on, so I'm like, he could really see in here. Like, when I have the ring light on, it's like a magnifying glass to the people outside. And I'm like, oh my... So whatever video I was editing, that video probably went up late, because after I saw that, I turned everything off and went to bed. And this is why it's creepy, because those situations that I just described to you guys, or told you guys about, there have been more instances before that. Because when he was in my room, he's coming towards me, and I had my ring light on. Like I said, I was going to do my YouTube, so I had my ring light on. And after he face plants, and he's talking about he needs to stay here for 3 weeks, and he's going to give me $1 million or whatever I want, he's like, turn the ring light off. He got aggressive about it. He was low-key like, bitch, this is not an option. Turn the ring light off. I told him, I was like, okay, I'm going to turn the ring light off, but I'm going to turn this light on. Like, we're not just going to be in here in the dark. I told him that. Like, I'm not that crazy. And so I turned the ring light off. Move it. No, I didn't even move it at first. Because at one point, he comes up to me. Now, at this point, I'm texting my sister, and I'm texting my roommate. And I'm like, there's somebody in my house right now. And you could literally, like, go on my Twitter. If you guys follow me on Twitter, I know I'm better on Instagram, but if you guys follow me on Twitter, like, I literally tweeted it. I literally, like, when my Twitter friends was like, what is going on, I literally was like tweeting it back, like, girl, I didn't even have pants on when he came in here, you know? And so he starts coming towards me. Mind you, I had already, like, I had turned the ring light off and I had this light on, and I'm texting my sister, I'm texting my roommate, and he thought I was recording him because the ring light and everything. And so I'm like, I'm not recording you, I'm not recording you. So he kind of like aggressively grabs onto the ring light, and I'm like, this is my career. So I moved the ring light, and I'm like, I don't know, he was being aggressive coming towards me after I moved the ring light, because when I moved the ring light, my back was kind of to a corner and he had more room to like come at me if he wanted to. So I was kind of like, I don't know, but the roles ended up switching, because I was kind of like backing up this way while he was coming towards me. I was kind of like backing towards the balcony, so if anything, I could just shoot out the room, and whatever he wants to do to my stuff, I mean, he can do it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm texting my sister, I'm telling her like, yeah, call the police. Like, mind you, my sister lives in Oakland, and I'm texting my roommate like, I know you can't do anything, but just in case I die. And he ended up on my bed. Like, when I say in the moment, I was so annoyed. Like, in the moment, I'm like, he's on my bed. Mind you, he was wearing a flannel, and it looked like before he came in my house, he was rolling around in the grass. Like, bro was out of his mind. Like, he was literally lit. And I'm like, he's on my bed. So I go and try to like kind of like yank him, and I could kind of feel that force that he had. Like, I kind of feel like, okay, like, he's short but he's husky, like, you know. And so I kind of like backed off. I'm all the way by the balcony. Like, if he's on my bed, I'm across the room, you know. And I'm like texting my sister, texting my roommate. I'm like, no, like, I'm not playing. This is not clickbait. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no. Like, and then I'm taking a picture of him, and he's like, stop recording. And then I'm like, I'm not even recording you. He starts breaking down, crying, talking about his girl, how he can't believe his girl betrayed him. And I'm like, why did you come in here? I was literally begging, like, why are you in my house right now? I didn't want to tell him that I don't really care, because I don't know how he would have reacted to that. But I was just like, why are you in my home? Like, and he was like, because I know you're with the shits. Like, I just been watching you. I know that you think I'm a creep, probably, because, yeah, like, I've been looking out. Like, I know everything you do. I know everything. Fuck your roommate. I know everything about your roommate, too. And he was like, yeah, I've seen you hooking up with your boy. I know how you treat your guy. That's how I know you're loyal. That's how I know you're not gonna snitch. That's why I came over here, because I know you're with the shits. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, he really been stalking me. Woo! So he just keeps repeating himself. And I'm on my phone. I'm texting my sister. I'm like, so what's up? Did you call the police? She's like, yeah. My sister and my roommate text me at the same time. The cops are on the way. My roommate actually called me. I guess she couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. But my roommate actually called me, and I'm trying to talk to her, but he's like standing right in front of me, and I have like 1 foot in my room and 1 foot out the door. And I'm thinking about my YouTube equipment, but I'm also thinking about, okay, like, if he really wanted to, he could push me hard enough to flip me over this balcony. Like, it's like so much going on in my mind. And so my roommate calls me. I'm like, I don't really know. I mean, what do you want me to say? Oh, yeah, he just walked in my room, like, while he's in front of me. Like, so I just hung up on her. And then, but I kept her on the phone long enough to where she could hear that it was literally somebody in my house, and I hung up on her. And then, so the cops come. And at this point, I'm not gonna lie, his behavior had escalated at this point. He took his shirt off. Oh, he took his shirt off because he thought I was recording him. And when my roommate called me, he started to get really aggressive. He's like, who are you on the phone with? Who are you calling? I can have someone over here right now. Like, don't forget, these are my avenues. And where I live, it actually is a lot of drug addicts. So I'm kind of like, I don't know if he's lying or not. That was the whole thing that was going in my mind. Like, okay, I know he's fucked up, but is he lying? So now you don't have no shoes and no shirt. I was like, I was completely out of my room at that point. Because He took his whole shirt off. He fell on his face. He was on my bed. He kicked his shoes off after he fell on his face. Got comfortable on my bed. And then now he's taking his shirt off. Nah, it's about to go way more downhill from here. You know what I'm saying? So luckily at that moment, I'm completely on the balcony. I'm just completely on the balcony. I'm like, I don't even want to be in my room. I don't feel safe in that confined area. So I'm not going to put myself in a confined area. And I'm texting my sister. And like I said, my sister and my roommate text me at the same time. And they're like, they're coming. So it was crazy because I saw the police. I knew the police were here. And at this moment, he was like going crazy. Like, on God, he was like foaming out his mouth. Like, he literally had foam coming out the side of his mouth. He was like, I'll give you anything. Let me stay here. Let me stay here. Like, he was literally like foaming at the mouth, shirtless, crying. Like, his eyes were red. He was like crying. And I'm like, this is mental illness behavior. And I see the police at my apartment door, and they're flashing like the light into the building. And I'm like, okay, they here. Like, please don't let him do anything weird because the police are literally here right now. And so I turn around, I'm looking at this fool, I'm looking at the cops. I'm like, okay, someone jammed the door, because I had been out the apartment about like 3 times before I actually, you know, started filming. And I didn't need to use my key. Someone left something in the door. So I knew that the door was open for the police to just come in. And so I just turned my direction to the trespasser. And he's like, I swear to God, I'm gonna kill you. The fucking devil is gonna get you. If I tell you I can't go to my house, I can't go to my fucking house. Like, what is it not to get? What is it not to get? I don't want you calling anybody. I know you're not on the phone. I know you're not on the phone. Let me tell you something, baby girl. I run these streets. I run the streets. Whoever's gonna hurt me, they're gonna hurt you too. Believe it. Believe it. And I'm just like, I'm looking at him tell me this, and I'm looking at the police come up the stairs like on some movie type shit. Guns drawn, flashlights like this. And then it clicks in my mind, it's a literal helicopter above my building. And I'm like, I don't feel like I'm in danger, but the potential of me being in danger feels like it's really high. And that's why I'm making this video, because my mind just hasn't been here. I've been wondering if I'm too nonchalant about things, or I don't know. I've just been reevaluating my whole life and how I look at things. Because my dad was like, I watch your videos. I know you're outgoing. I know you're like a good person. But people will take that for granted. And in the moment, because the police came and I'm on the balcony and this cat is like yelling in my face, foaming at the mouth, red ass eyes. And I'm like, on one hand, I'm like really thankful that it escalated when the police were already on their way. But on the other hand, I'm like, why did this even have to happen? And why did this even get this far? So while the situation is escalating, I end up making eye contact with one of the cops. And I don't know, like, I don't know. I'm going like this. I'm like, I didn't want to like look at the cop and be like, hey, come up here and save me. Like, you know. But I guess the way my building is set up, the police were confused, because when my roommate called, she said apartment 12. When my sisters called, they said apartment 12, and they were at apartment 12. So they're like, what do you mean up here? You know? So finally, I'm like, yes, up here. So finally, the cop that I was making eye contact with, he caught on, and he like redirected all his partners, or like told all his partners like, hey, she's actually up here. So they rushed up to my room. I'm like, and then the cop was like he was telling me like, just get out the way, just start walking this way and we'll do what we gotta do. And I'm like, I didn't understand that, and I was just like I was still trying to be low key, and he's telling me like, let's go, like move. And so I started walking towards him, because I started to pick up, like, I needed to move. But seriously, like, when he saw the police, he slid my balcony door closed, and he was trying to keep them out. And it was like 3 cops on the balcony door, like, let us in, let us in. And I'm just like, oh, they gonna fuck my shit up. The police had to come in here. It took like 3 of them to get him out of here. They had him like pent up. His pants fell off at that point, and he was just pent up against the wall, screaming to them, I'll give you whatever you want. I'll give you $1 billion. You don't understand. I'm gonna die. You don't understand. I'm gonna die. I was like, I don't want him to associate this moment with my face, so I'm gonna go downstairs. So at that moment, I kind of like started sneaking downstairs to my front door so I could get into my apartment from the bottom. And then I could just like sit on the couch until they got rid of him. And when I was coming downstairs, like a real cop, like he didn't even have on his uniform. Like he was like a real cop, like a Law and Order type cop. He was coming out, and then there was 2 like regular cops coming out my front door. And he was like, are you the only one here? I'm like, yeah, I'm the only one here. Even the cops were saying like, I can't believe this is your disposition and somebody just came in your home. And you're alone. There's nobody else here. And I couldn't even process it. I really think that I just couldn't even process what happened. And that's why I'm making this video. I'm making this video because as soon as they took him away and the cops came to me and they were like, oh, so are you going to want to press charges? If you press charges, you're going to have to go to court. If not, we're just gonna have the ambulance come get him, and we're gonna say that it was an overdose because he's obviously on something. I don't know if he drank too much. I don't know if he smoked something bad, but he's obviously like on another planet right now. I'm not gonna get all Blue Lives Matter, but all of these cops were on their shit. Every single one of these cops, they moved with urgency. It seemed like they were really coming through to save my life. It really felt like that. I really felt okay. I really felt okay. So when the cops tell me like, okay, so like if you press charges, you're gonna have to go to court. I'm thinking to myself, fuck, like me going to court, 1, will take all day. 2, I could go to work. I don't want to call out of work to go to court to relive this drunk motherfucker coming in my house. Another thing I was thinking was, I know he's fucked up, but if everything he said was true about me now being associated and him having people after him, and you know, like, you guys, he started telling me that he liked me and he thought he had a chance with me, and he been wanted to talk to me. Literally, those were his words, like, oh yeah, I think you're cute or whatever. I think you're cute or whatever, but like, I've been wanting to talk to you, but like, and I'm like, where is this shit going? You know what I'm saying? Like, it really could have went left, because let me tell you how I see it. When I went to work the next day, and my auntie told me this too. When I talked to my auntie, she was like, I knew something was wrong because I didn't hear from you all day. And I was like, well, I was filming. She was like, you know what? You're not processing it right now, but when we get off the phone, you're gonna think about it. And it wasn't until I went to work on Monday and I told my boss what happened. And my boss, she's this sexy ass redhead, okay? And my boss told me, she was like, oh yeah, the same thing happened to me. I found out that my landlord's boyfriend was stalking me through the cameras, because my landlord had cameras to everywhere, and he was always showing up everywhere I was at. And I'm like, I've just been so spooked ever since, because I'm like, the female intuition is never wrong. And my dad already told me to call the police on him, and I didn't, because I didn't feel like I had enough concrete evidence. And I'm just thinking about how the situation in his mind builded up to the point where he got so fucked up, he felt comfortable enough to say, this is the day I'm gonna come in her room. And another thing that is creepy is that I've been living in this apartment for 2 years, and I keep my balcony open because I'm an adult now, so I pay for the AC. So sometimes I don't see the point in having my AC on. I just open the window and let a breeze come in. And it's just crazy that this was the night when he had enough courage to say, oh, I know her balcony's open. I know she's here. This is the time. I'm just gonna go in her shit. After that situation was over, I filmed the BB Rexa album review. I filmed Little Mix. I filmed the BET Awards, and filming was hard. Like, the footage just wasn't where I needed it to be. My energy was just so low. You could tell that I was just over the day. You could tell, like, you could tell that my mind was somewhere else. You could tell that it was forced. I forgot to take the thumbnails. Nothing was going right. And I knew that nothing was going right because my head wasn't right. And that's why I wanted to just come to you guys and tell you guys what I'm going through, because I don't want to fall off. You guys, filmed the BET Awards reaction on Sunday. Didn't upload the video until Wednesday morning. I just knew something was not right. And then BET blocked my video. My video went down. And I'm like, so in the BET video, I apologized for not doing BB Rexa. I apologized for not doing Little Mix. And that video gets taken down? Like, that's when I knew. That's when I knew. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna have to take a risk. I'm just gonna have to take a leap of faith and hope that people care to know, like, hey, I'm not falling off. If you tell me to react to something, I'm gonna react to it. I read your comments. I know what you guys want, and I want to give it to you. But if something's going on in my life, I need to set that standard now. Before I hit 1,000 subscribers, before I hit 100,000 subscribers, before I hit 1,000,000 subscribers. I need to set that standard now, that if I'm going through something, I'm going to tell you guys. I'm going to keep it up front. YouTube is a platform. I'm not playing no games. I love doing this. And I want everyone to know Bree and love Bree for Bree. When you guys leave comments and tell me that you want to be my best friend, or you feel like you are my best friend, bitch, we are friends. That's what it is. We really are friends. And because we're friends, I feel comfortable enough making this video and telling you guys, because you guys deserve to know. Y'all are in my life now. And y'all need to know what's going on. So that's what happened. Someone came in my house, violated my privacy. Every time I come into my apartment, I feel violated. Every time I come in my apartment, I look at his door. This video is me facing my fear and overcoming my fear and telling you guys I'm still here. Even though I'm going through something, I'm still here. And I will be back. And I will be better. And I will be stronger when I come back. You know what I'm saying? But that's what happens. On Friday, Drake is going to drop his album Scorpion, and I will be reacting to that. If you guys like this video, go ahead and turn that thumbs up blue, because I did nothing but keep it 100 with y'all. If you guys want to see more story times, let me know in the comments below. Get those fingers moving and let me know what you want me to react to next. Because at the end of the day, I do kind of feel like I let you guys down a little bit. I know you guys enjoy my content, and not being able to produce that for you guys because of some bullshit, because of external factors, really bothers me. And I'm making this video to let y'all know that even through external factors, I will push through. God himself is going to have to come down here and stop me. I mean that. My focus is here. My focus is with you guys. And my focus is on changing my life. So with that being said, I'll see you on the next reaction. In the next reaction, we're going to get right back to turning up like nothing even happened. I love you guys. I can't wait to grow with you guys. Till next time.